everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of That Toy Life. I'm sorry we're running a little behind tonight, but somebody always has issues, and it's usually one person that's the cause of all our issues. And he's running late, but so we'll introduce him last just to make him wait because he made us wait. First up, with me as always is your co-host, Ray. I'm just trying to come up with a nickname, Ray Expose Snedeker.
You need to watch some Psych. That's what you need to do is watch. Hey, have you heard of that show?
Psych? No, I haven't.
Try that sometime, and you'll start to get the hang of like just nicknames on the fly. That's the thing they do is like just come up with the silliest nicknames.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. All right, and with us as always is Mr. Austin, late to the party, Gordy. What is that?
100% your whoop ass, boy.
You got your stone cold drink. Oh my goodness.
And it keeps your drink stone cold.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not digging it.
Okay, so we got some stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the Acolyte. We're going to talk about what we think about the Acolyte. And we're also going to talk about what happened to Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Well, apparently there was an article released today that kind of gives us the background on the kind of the biggest flop of 2024. Or did it get released? Yeah, it got released in 2024.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about a few toys and some toy news. But before we get into all that, we're going to talk hauls. So who wants to go first? Who had a haul?
I've got a haul.
No haul on mine.
I've got a haul.
Okay. Let's go, Austin. Haul.
Well, first off, Mr. Logan showed up to the party early.
Woo!
He came in looking awesome. He comes with the alternate head, which I approve. The sculpts came in. They actually were real good sculpts. You get that. He's got his dog tags. You get the interchangeable hands like the non-blades, and then you also get these with the blades. I also didn't know that you could, if you pull on each of these, you can like pull these blades out. I didn't know they were removable. So that's interesting. Maybe you can put some bone claws or something in there.
So is that the same as the original release, or is that different?
I think this is probably just a remo or like a repaint of what would you say, Ray? Wasn't this like a release of like a? I don't know if this wasn't with the motorcycle, right? This came as like a. I don't know if it was a Days of Future Past Wolverine or what kind of Wolverine this was before, but I feel like this was a reuse of a different sculpt because then there was the Amazon version that had it's basically the same figure but with the jacket. So yeah, I think this is it, but I think the face sculpts and everything got a tad bit of a touch up, and also the paint looks a little bit better. Like the paint jobs are a little more vibrant. I think the older ones were a little duller from what I saw, like in terms of just the comparisons.
Yeah.
Another really cool little tidbit I was able to grab on discount at Target was an Alfred to go with my animated series Batman set. He was only $13.99. Yeah, I was happy to get him. So yeah, and it's weird. He comes with like a tray and just a big tea set and a feather duster. It's kind of silly. Yeah. No other heads or anything, but he's a pretty cool figure. Otherwise, I mean, he's not in that shaded format like the others are, though. That's the only thing that really makes him stand out. He's just regular paint job. But yeah, they did a good job on him. He looks really good. And my wife actually picked this up on discount.
Oh,
she's been obsessed with. I mean, she loves the John Carpenter movies in particular, but she loves like The Thing was a standout for her. She loves this and Halloween. But yeah, now she's got a McCready figure, and yeah, I mean he looks really good too. I mean I think overall I feel like it's a pretty decent. I don't know if the camera can really capture it that well, but it's a pretty decent face sculpt, and you get a few, I think three different heads.
Yeah.
And the cowboy hat and all that, and you nice little get some booze, some whiskerinis, some whiskerdoodles. That's pretty cool. I don't know. This is good find. I mean, I enjoy this. Really cool surprise was I was able to get this.
Oh,
Found this at a toy shop. Yeah, it was cheap too, $15 at a comic shop.
yeah, Willow.
Yeah, Willow.
Mad Morgan.
I wish I could
Morgan.
have found Mad Morgan. Mad Morgan and Willow were like the two main ones I wanted. And but yeah, hopefully I'll find Mad Morgan sometime because Disney's the Super 7. Another thing we were doing recently was, we were diving into comics and issues that we don't or we are missing and things like that. I was able to complete a few sets. I don't know if any of y'all read the Jedi or the Jedi Fallen Order Dark Temple series. It was just like a 5-issue limited series. Where it was the story before the first Jedi Fallen Order game. I was able to complete the set. That get some issues to complete that. But also, we've talked about this in the past, but I've been, I'm always collecting movie comics, movie tie-ins, stuff, and these I picked up at a comic show or at a toy show, like a year or so ago. But I had the original Raiders. Oh, these are really cool. And then I had found this random Temple of Doom comic, like I think in town here, and I ended up. I don't know. I just got this randomly. I'm like, I'll find the other issues at some point, and this is a 3-issue limited series like the first one. And Temple of Doom was my personal favorite. So while I was out recently exploring, I was able to find issue 1. I had to pay a little bit more for him. Yeah, it was like
how much? I can't.
$10, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Plus, it's it's in real good condition. Plus issue 1. That's great. So now I just need issue 3 and I'll have it completed. But another super random comic I come across that totally fit the mold, had to put it in the movie tie-in series. I just come across this Total Recall
from DC.
From DC, and it's Elliot S. Megan and Tom Lyle, and it's signed by them. It's like physically, like actually signed by them, and came with a certificate of authenticity.
Oh, sweet!
I picked up, for it was like little less than $20 because it was discounted, but I just thought it was so weird. I'm like, even if this was fake, it's like numbered and it's limited and it's signed by both the writer and artist. I'm like, you gotta go with it. So yeah, I was able to get that, and I think that's pretty much my haul. Yeah, okay. I think that. Well, actually, you know what? I did go focus. I think the last episode I talked about finding the Inspector Gadget toys. We got 2 pieces of Inspector Gadget so far. Well, me and my wife went and dived in the other day and found some more stuff, and we didn't find any Inspector Gadget, but she found these still in the package. These Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs figures. So we've got I think this is Sleepy.
Yeah, sweet.
Let's see, we got Sleepy.
Is that like the Disney 100?
No, this was back in the 90s. This was 92.
Oh.
Like when they would re-release these in theaters.
Oh, okay.
This was in McDonald's started doing like Disney promotions heavily.
Yeah.
So this was 92. This is after I guess probably Little Mermaid and stuff like that was so successful.
Gotcha.
So here we go with that. I remember Bambi was a successful line they did.
Yeah.
I actually have a Bambi still in the package. But yes, we got Sleepy. Sorry, trying to be fast here. Let's see what else we got. I thought she had another dwarf or something, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, she did get this, which is a Millie. It's like a transforming milk carton. It was a part of a line. I actually had this, but it was like at McDonald's. Yeah, there you go. You can see her. She just transforms into this female milk carton.
Okay.
See, I'll just throw it to the floor. The really cool find she did. I mean, it was part of that same Snow White. Was the Prince or whatever Prince with horse. But yeah, this whole thing, it was only like $1, but still in the package. This thing's hefty too, but it came with the horse and guy and everything. That was that's a good deal, I think. Good toy for kids and a Happy Meal. That's a Happy Meal toy with some oomph. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here was another Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know if you remember this one. It would be while you would roll it, he would pop up. Let me see if I can get him to do it real quick here.
In the bag.
Yeah, in the bag. I'm trying to figure out which wheel controls it. One of them. Oh, did I find it? Nope. Oh, wait, here we go. Here, you can see him kind of poking out in there.
Yeah, I see his head poking out a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, minecart from Snow White. Then I started finding the real good goodies. We got Batman the Animated Series, Robin.
Oh, okay. I remember
Michael.
that. Yep. I remember that.
Oh yeah, the Joker. The Joker
I used to have
mobile.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, really good.
Actually,
Really
I still have that somewhere around here.
Oh, and Catwoman.
Used to have that.
Oh yeah, I remember getting that in Atlanta of all places.
So I think that's it with those. Oh wow, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it's always great when you have like memories attributed to certain Happy Meal toys and stuff. Because like I remember it was probably in Atlanta at a McDonald's getting the Batman Returns the disc. You know, it was like you would get the drink, the cup, and you'd get the disc on top. I remember getting that. The last toy, the McDonald's toy, and this one I didn't open yet. I don't know if you've heard of this, Ashley, but this is a reversible. This was 1998, but it's a reversible vehicle Hamburglar. And it looks like it's a fire truck or something to start with, but I'm assuming this turns, like I turn this into the Hamburglar in some way.
Huh.
So
yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it sounded interesting, and plus, if I end up not liking it, I have a nephew that loves Transformers and stuff. This will probably go great with that. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much my haul.
Sweet. So Ray didn't have a haul. Let's look at, we got Ska Knight in the chat. He said he got the Arkham Knight. First appearance, Nightwing. Superman is Nightwing. I don't remember that one. DC Essentials Catwoman. Then he got Marvel Legends Wolfbane, Elektra, Daredevil's Hallows Eve, and Chun-Li. Chun-Li must be the is that the Jax? Who does the Street Fighter stuff now?
I was going to say it might be Jack specific because I saw that Chun-Li. Every time I come across it, I'm like, I kind of like this. I kind of want to buy it, but I'm just a sucker for the old Street Fighter.
Okay, so my haul, I can't really show it to you because I'd have to like walk around. It's still in boxes. So basically, I did yet another trade with another fellow YouTuber. And we traded about $3,000 worth of stuff. So I've got about $3,000 worth of Transformers sitting in boxes over here. Some really cool stuff that I can't wait to get on the shelves. But yeah, that was my haul. And he said Jada Toys was the Street Fighter. That's right. They're doing it now. They're doing it now.
Ah, Jada. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Jada.
Yep. That's my haul. And if you want to,
you're sticking to it.
If you want to see that haul, just check out my YouTube channel and you can look at all the cool stuff that I got. All right, so
sponsored by MeUndies.
Yeah, let's talk about before we get into the Acolyte. Ray, I want you to break down this Suicide Squad.
Garbage.
Yeah.
So as people might or may not know, there's a DC game that came out this year. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. It's actually set in the Arkham universe. If you know the Arkham Batman games, it was set as like something years down the road after Arkham Knight. But anyways, it kind of flopped when it came out. And from what I've heard, it's like usually less than 200 people actually play it still. Like,
oh wow!
Currently, it doesn't really peak that high anymore. And usually that doesn't really happen with a lot of games as a service stuff, like not that fast. But there was a expose that was released today by an investigative journalist who kind of specializes in game stuff named Jason Schreier. Not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but he decided his focus of this story was going to be how the Suicide Squad came about. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was stuff. If you've been kind of paying attention to what's been happening with it, a lot of it it doesn't really sound surprising. But there was some interesting stuff that he did reveal. Like, I didn't realize that. So this all started from the movie, the 2016 movie.
Oh, wow. It's been in development that long.
Yeah. Because what happened was that movie came out, and I don't think Warner Brothers was expecting that one to be a success.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a great movie, but a lot of money compared to the budget that it had.
Yeah.
And so, they went to one of their big pedigree developers who was just finishing up, doing a trilogy of Batman games, Rocksteady Studios, and they came to them wanting to pitch Suicide Squad as a games as a service. And I think they were getting ready to do some kind of puzzle games, but they specialize in single player, and Warner Brothers kind of just convinced them, or basically said, like, no, you're going to do this, and this is going to make us $1 billion. And and there was some other stuff that was really, like, I would definitely go, I would suggest checking it out. It's on the Bloomberg website. That's where the original article is. But he says, like, one other thing that was really strange was there's a whole kind of how would he describe it? Excuse my dog, he's having a tantrum right now. Basically, they had what in the workplace they had basically, how did they describe it? Toxic positivity. Like, they were undyingly positive about the game every time. So nothing, there was no criticisms that would be brought up. And so, you kind of get that slippery slip you do, because if you don't have constructive criticism, you end up with what we got, which is kind of just a bland shooter, that has, a bunch of people, the characters that we know from DC in it. But I'll definitely go check that out.
Well, I mean, the cut screen right here looks good.
Yeah, and that's what would happen. They would say, like, where. Let me see if I can find the.
I mean, it's visually appealing. My thing is, with a game like that, I never thought it would do good, because you're killing the heroes of the DC universe.
Yeah,
there's no redeeming any of them, and they tried to set it in the Arkham.
Well, another thing they did
universe.
That was there's a lot of missteps in terms of the story for me, because I think if you wanted this to be successful, it would have been better. One of two things: they didn't need to set this in the Arkham universe, because they only did that to try to bring in more Arkham people that are familiar with the Arkham series. So I figured it's related to that, so I got to jump in. If they'd done that and maybe just made it seem more like it was a world where the Justice League actually was going bad, like they're becoming like the Justice Lords. Yeah, now, you don't have any attachment to any of these characters, so this version of them, so you could root for the Suicide Squad a little bit easier.
I agree.
But here's a passage that really stood out. Well, before I get to that, what I was saying about the game itself was the live service model. I think it's already killing the game, because I don't think they're going to get to finish the storyline, because as of this coming out, I just saw an article before this saying that they're already starting to they're going to slow down on their updates now. Instead of weekly, it's going to become just whenever they have big stuff to announce,
i.e. never again.
Yeah, so it sounds like they already closed the book, and they were supposed to be like 4 seasons worth of stuff originally. That's what they were coming out the gate with, saying we're going to have 4 seasons of story, where I think apparently the Justice League was going to get brought back somehow. And the ones we saw in the base game were, I guess, clones or something. But that's the danger of a live service game, because you're doing this gamble on hoping that the game does well, so that you could tell the rest of the story that you should have probably just had in the original storyline to begin with.
Yep.
But now you had to stretch it out.
Yep.
But here's a quick passage I wanted to read that was really interesting to me, at least. Multiple people who worked on the project say their growing concerns were often met with promises from management that Suicide Squad would eventually coalesce at the last minute, just as the Arkham games had. Several employees adopted the term toxic positivity to describe the culture of the company, which discouraged criticism. Leadership didn't seem worried. They say, even as other traditionally single-player game studios that chased live service trend were delivering abysmal results with games such as Anthem, 59 out of 100 on Metacritic, Marvel's Avenger game, 67 out of 100, and Redfall, 56 out of 100. But despite the internal concerns among frontline workers, executives from Warner Brothers kept reviewing demonstrations of the game and sending laudatory feedback, praising the graphics and saying they expected Suicide Squad to become a billion-dollar franchise.
Wow.
They were really blinded by, the thoughts of getting all this live service money that they did consider whether or not people were going to actually want to stick with it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, yeah, I have a couple problems with Gotham Knight, and yeah, definitely doesn't look as smooth as something like Arkham Knight in terms of the fluidity, but it was a funner game. And I got some enjoyment out of playing that compared to anything I saw about Suicide Squad. Once I saw the gameplay, I was kind of done.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like they just built a bubble around themselves and just existed, just be like, hey, this is probably going to be a meal ticket, so let's just ride it until the wheels fall off or something. I don't know. They're like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
But it does point out at the end that it doesn't look like this is going to kill Rocksteady. And I think it's one of the situations where they had such a pedigree before, and then they did something radically different. And considering what everybody's saying, I think Warner Brothers probably is looking at it like, well, maybe we should give them one more shot and let them do what they normally are good at doing, which is a single player experience.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, it seemed hopeful that they'll get one more chance. And I hope so, because I think Rocksteady's better than this. Even though it's not the same leaders, the leaders that they had left 2 years before the game came out. Yeah.
That's kind of bad. I didn't expect much after, they showed the first trailer and it looked really cool, but something just said, this is not, I didn't even pre-order, haven't played it.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So, I mean, after the first day it came out, there were so many problems. People were complaining. I said, it's about what I expected. All righty. So let's start talking about Star Wars: The Acolyte. I know we've all seen it. We've all seen the first two episodes, correct?
I've read the first two issues. I've seen the first two episodes.
Okay.
Listen to the first two podcasts.
Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. That's hard to say. We'll probably spoil this show for you. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to come back, rewatch in a bit. And go watch the first two episodes. Yeah. So overall, your thoughts just on this new Star Wars that we're seeing. And by new, I mean not just, hey, this is a brand new show, but something we've never seen in Star Wars before. Something that takes place, 100 years before anything we've seen in live action.
I'll go ahead and say, like I've already, I do really like this. Just because, and I felt this kind of watching it. It was really nice and interesting to watch a whole new Star Wars story without worrying about like who was going to pop in, like, who or what. And I was really like, that was a breath of fresh air for me, because that's something that they kind of, it's almost gotten ingrained in your mind when watching the other shows. You keep wondering, like, who's this going to be?
Yeah.
Who's
or in some way, how's it tie into the Skywalker story?
Or
how does it lead into that whole thing about the rise and fall of the Empire? How does it fit into that?
Yeah, because everything still, except beside this show, every single piece of Star Wars we've seen is connected with the Galactic Empire saga. Yeah, even the pre-sequel stuff is dealing with remnants of them and stuff like that. So this is the first time there's literally no connections to anything else in live action that holds up.
Popped up yet. Possibly. I mean, it is talking about the beginnings, I guess, of
and I imagine
yeah.
I do hope that I with how I'm feeling for the shark now, I kind of hope Yoda does not appear. I kind of hope that I kind of, just because I feel like that would kind of diminish the whole, idea of like being in this whole new show. But instead, you're going to have this moment where people are going to point out, oh, look, it's Yoda. He's younger now. Instead of just enjoying the story that's being told, which I'm really enjoying because it's very different than other Star Wars shows we've had.
Well, honestly, I would say with Yoda, with the whole Yoda thing, the only way I would see them bringing Yoda in where it would be good for me would be just as a quick passing character, because like somebody that's not important to the overall story. It's just a master sitting on the council or walking by, and you're like, that's Yoda. He's obviously alive during this time, but he's got nothing to do with the plot of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be the only way I would see Yoda, and otherwise, I'm with you. Just keep Yoda out of it.
I mean, I guess if they wanted to keep with the theme of it, I guess you could maybe do some kind of single scene with him, like maybe someone speaks to him, and maybe Yoda just tells a story of something that kind of relates to it to kind of give you some character reflection.
Yeah. But for sure, no, I'm with you on that.
But
I'm with you. I agree that
Well, I was going to say, make it meaningful. Don't just make it a pointless cameo. If you're going to bring him in, have him have some weight to whatever he's there. Even no matter how small the part is, just give the weight that's needed for his character, but don't force it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, don't force it. Yeah, because like I said, I'd rather just keep him away from it. But overall, I mean, I dig it. I think it's a great show, and it's scratching the itches that I thought it would, and it's giving me real episode 1 vibes, which I'm all for. Where it's just like Jedi policing, keeping the peace, and then you have that master apprentice, relationship that you kind of explore. But at the same time, I love that. Yeah, we're in a different time period, and it's just a breath of fresh air, and the fact that you get to see the Jedi, because the prequels were, you're seeing the Jedi in their element. You are, but at the same time, you're seeing the Jedi as they're falling off their pedestal, like after they've. But now we're really seeing the Jedi in their prime, like what they've mainly been doing for the last 1,000 years, and it's just doing their thing, policing. But
they work for the Republic, but they don't work for the Republic.
Right. But I will say this show, after watching it a couple of times, it's like it does take some very dramatic liberties and some, I'm sure we'll get into the nitty gritties. But other than that, I'm enjoying it so far. I like the story.
Ooh, I kind of want to take a bite of this. What dramatic liberties were you thinking of?
Just like little things, like just the overall, the tone of the show sometimes would feel weird. Like or it would start to feel, I'm going like, all right, where are we? Like, are we staying with a like younger Star Wars audience? Are we going with way more adult because people are dying and stuff like that? So it would feel sometimes the tone would kind of go, more in the comedic and then go back into the super serious. But I kind of like it. I mean, at the same time, I'm just kind of like, oh, this is different, but I kind of like it.
But it does have a TV-14 rating, which I thought was kind of weird for Star Wars.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that they are kind of like, this is supposed to be an adult or a more adult-oriented, thriller, like a mystery thriller, and I'm totally getting those vibes. But at the same time, it feels like they also pepper in some stuff to be like, keep it Star Wars, and because they're not dropping F-bombs and going hardcore in a closet somewhere. I'm like, let's not HBO it up or anything. The dramatic liberties, I would say, would be just little things, mainly like do we want to go ahead and get into the spoilers and get into?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, we probably want to really go ahead and announce or talk about the main story. Like, what's the main thread? Because obviously,
they put a big twist in this first episode too that we didn't realize. Yeah, because we thought it was just about one character, but it's about twins.
I was going to say, there you go. So so we figure out, we find out that the actual story is there's twins, and I guess they're both Force potential. One was trained. They're both Force users. One was trained as a Jedi. The other one is now looks like they're being manipulated by darker forces. Yeah. But let's say the twin that's innocent, that we think we know of so far. Like when she's confronted and she's at the cliff face and she falls and stuff like that. I was like, number one, I'm like, that's kind of weird that scene there. I'm like, it's happening almost like The Fugitive, you know, like, and then I'm like, it's just, but I get there's those are just references like, hey, it's supposed to make you kind of think about, hey, remember that movie or remember this kind of, but at the same time, I'm like, that's really on the nose in terms of saying thriller or giving reference to a thriller. And also when she falls, I'm like, a Jedi. And here's the thing too, is Master Saul. I love Master Saul throughout this thing, but sometimes even I want to grab him and be like, dude, what's your problem? Like it would just get real dramatic and real un-Jedi like. And then there would be moments where like when she falls, he catches her. And instead of just catching her and being like, I got you, and then brings her back up, it's like he catches her and he's like, you think I got her? You think I got her? I got her. I was just joking with you. And then it's like she had to sit there for a little bit. And then he yanks her up. And I'm like, wow, that was real dramatic. Like, why didn't you just bring the girl up? You know, I mean, just little things like that. You could tell they would take real dramatic liberties. Yeah. And then all the sequencing around the I don't know his name, but the sister Osha's part. Wait, I'm trying to hold on. Osha's the good girl. May is the
bad one.
Yeah, May's partner, the one that basically killed that store owner, huh?
Chimere.
His that dynamic gets a little weird, but I feel like there's, I mean, obviously he's getting the same teachings that she is.
Nah, so he's the Sith Lord. He's the Sith Lord.
You see, that's what I just told my wife tonight. I was like, I said, there's your Palpatine right there. I was like, because he's acting way too. I'm like, I know he's in the teachings. He's getting taught the same stuff, but yet you would see him be meager, but yet he could defend himself against her.
Exactly.
And then, but yeah. I'm like, something's off. There you go. There's your Palpatine for the season.
Yeah. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy it yet. It feels too obvious. But then again, Rings of Power did that to me too, made it just seem too obvious. Like, they can't be making it that obvious, can they, with this twist? And then they did. And
then they just come out with a parade. They're like, da, 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 and flags. Because that's who you think it is.
Like, I feel like there's more to them, but it feels like it's too easy. For me, it feels like a red herring. Like, they're trying to get you to think, like, there's more to him. So it's going to be easy to think of that he's just going to be the Sith Lord. If it turns out to be the case, I think I'll be a little disappointed because it does feel like they're showing that too easily for people to latch on to. Like, yeah,
I guess. I mean, when we were watching, I turned to my wife and I said, "That's him. That's the dude with the red lightsaber." The way he acted around the Jedi, all scared and giving up some little bit of information that probably didn't really amount to much. You know, that stuff he wanted them to know. It just seems very Palpatine-ish. And then the way he was telling
her business, all the business too.
Yeah. And the way he was just so drunk around her at the beginning, and so I don't even know what I'm doing, you know. And then at the very end, when he just like manhandled her,
that's true.
With ease, you know.
That's why I was like, he's more dangerous than you realize. But then when the Jedi and all them show up, he's just like, hey, you know. I'm like, and it's just all of that around him. Another thing I will say that was. And I guess we'll go, since we're talking about things that stand out or things that make me go, in the second episode, because we're going through each episode, you know, May is basically assassinating a Jedi. It seems like so far the rhythm is, you know, we start out Master, and now her name is floating right off my tongue, Trinity.
Oh yeah,
Indara.
That was very weird.
Indara, Master Indara. Thank you. I was going to say Master Indara gets killed. I will say her death even is kind of like I wish they could have written it a little bit better because I didn't quite buy her not catching that other dagger coming at her. Even though I know she was protecting that guy, she's a Jedi master. I just felt like she would have flicked that off. No big deal. But you know, like I said, that was the other big dramatic liberty I think they took. And I'm like, I'm fine. You got to get the story rolling, killing Jedi masters. But she, when she takes her out, and then the next episode, it's about kind of focusing on Master, is it Jolin? Oh gosh, what was his name?
Yes, that guy. The weird.
No, is it Joel? I think it was Jalen. Hold on, I'm gonna
just
find
floating in the air.
I was gonna say, because I immediately saw him and I was like, oh my God, is it? What'd you say? Corbin, right?
Torben.
There we go, Torben. There we go.
This guy looks like some random band instructor in high school.
Well, I was going to say it was. So I see that we see the dude floating. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. He's doing the Jedi meditation thing. And then I like that they explain what he's doing, and it actually kind of references. I think I'm trying to remember the name of the. Basically, is when the Jedi put themselves in exile to focus on something that traumatic that they've experienced or done. Mm-hmm. So, he's like giving himself over to the Force in that way or something. But anyway, when I see the actor, I'm like, wait a second. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, I know the actor. And I had to think about it for a second. And then the more we kept cutting to his face, I'm like, what did they do? Like, what makeup department? Claire was like, yep, that's good enough, because it looked like a 14-year-old boy playing like a 70-year-old stunt double. Like he's got this receding hairline wig and the beard and everything, and it's so obviously on the skin of a child. Like this dude, I'm like, he looks like he's 15 tops. And then it's the actor from Game of Thrones, which he's 26, but he still looks. I mean, he's like a baby. But yeah, I think that's going to connect probably to what happened in what's basically set this ball rolling anyways, why this girl is killing these people anyways. Mm-hmm. So I bet they're gonna show him more. The actor's probably gonna come back more, maybe in flashbacks.
Oh, they got to.
Got to. Otherwise, why in the world did you pick that kind of a cameo? It was like putting Jonathan Lipnicki from during Jerry Maguire days and saying like, yeah, he's playing this, like he's playing Drew Carey in this movie or what. I mean, it's just like it was so odd. But anyway, other than that, I'm like,
why do you waste Carrie Ann Moss?
I was going to say that too. Yeah. So that was another thought I had. I'm like, she's probably got more in terms of at least flashback episodes where you see what they did. So I'm like, he's probably going to be much younger. So he'll probably be almost like a Padawan or something. He'll be so baby faced and stuff. And then they just had to then flash forward. I'm assuming this is what, like a 10 to 15 year gap between what happened and the retribution right now or something now.
So I mean,
is that what y'all think? What did they had they pinpointed it?
No, I mean, well, you got to think when she's little. This happens when
she was 8. Little. I was going to say it happened when they were probably around 7 or 8, because the other one gets taken in too old into the temple at 8. So it had the fire. Basically, let's go ahead and spoil that. There's apparently the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. They say that May started this fire that killed her whole family. Mm-hmm. And they thought it killed her too. It killed May too, but apparently it didn't. And then when we catch up to her, May thought that Osha was dead, that the flames probably killed her or something. Mm-hmm. Right? I guess kind of.
To me, it just seems like there's
miscommunication.
there's some I think there's some evilness. Well, not really evilness.
Oh, definitely some evilness in the background.
Those 4 Jedi probably knew that May was going to go off the rails. Like, okay, there's something dark in her, and maybe they did something to try to off her early on. I'm going to say,
I'm wondering what in the world could have been done. That's one thing I'm loving about this show, is that it's already got me thinking like, oh my God, which I understand the showrunner. Leslie Headland. She's the Russian Dolls creator. I'm guessing this is her bread and butter, right? Well, is she like doing stuff like this?
Because it gives me kind of, I mean, definitely not in the same tone or anything, but the mystery and the style of it makes me almost think of like a sci-fi version, a Star Wars sci-fi version of like True Detective.
Yeah,
where you exactly. Where there's this kind of sinking mystery from the past, or at least in this case, is like some sinking mystery from the past is coming back to the surface, and these characters are having to face up to what happened. you know.
Yeah, because to me, if that throwaway line by Kiadi Mundi in the Phantom Menace, the Sith haven't been around for 1,000.
The Sith
years.
hasn't been seen for a millennia.
Yeah. So if you reveal the Sith in this to the galaxy at large, I mean, you're pretty much breaking canon.
But that
you're breaking Star Wars canon. So I think there's some secrecy that some of these Jedi know this is, this could be the Sith, but that's why they're not wanting to involve the Jedi Council. They're trying to wrap this up on their own, maybe.
Well, they haven't mentioned anything about, like, Sith hasn't even brought up yet. Right now, it's just someone is killing assassin or someone's killing a Jedi. Yeah. And also
they have force powers. They're force user.
Yeah. And Vernestra, she kind of seemed like, I think she told him, basically to keep it discreet. She did mention discretions and like, don't let this,
for political reasons. For political reasons.
I feel like it's going to be, no matter how it plays out, it's going to be one of those things that's kept, even probably erased from the vaults or kept somewhere very secret where, the council wouldn't even know. The council, by the time we get to the Galactic Empire, wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I really
another reason to keep Yoda out, huh?
I was going to say, by the way, I like Vernestra Rowe, like the live action version. Like she's a boss so far. I've just liked her vibe. She's kind of like she gives me like the Mace Windu vibes of this group. She's just kind of like we got stuff to do.
I think
do it.
I think she's going to be the one wielding the light whip from what I saw in the trailer.
Well, because it has to be, because if you've read any of the like the children's novels, she's even, she's fought with it. Like that was kind of like her thing was, I think her lightsaber can turn. It's like it's a lightsaber that can turn into a light whip or something like that. Huh. So I hope they do something like that. That would be so cool to do some variation of that.
That doesn't excite me there. That just seems kind of, I don't know. But anyway,
you don't like the light whip?
I don't like the light whip. But
really,
I also didn't like when some of the steals before I actually saw this a few weeks ago when they were starting to show some screenshots from the show or some some images. I thought to myself when I was looking at it, oh my gosh, this looks like Star Trek: The Next Generation. And what I mean by that is it looked too clean and it looked too fake, I guess is what I'm saying. But when I didn't experience any of that when I watched the show. But from those steals that they released, I was very skeptical going into this. Like, ooh, this looks too,
I think also movie-ish. It's probably that. I think it's also a vibe of the High Republic too, is that everything is so clean and bright. There really isn't like, even if you look at the book sometimes, unless there's like the destruction of a base or something getting taken down, other than that, everything is regal, white, flowing.
Well, I guess when I'm saying clean, I'm saying it doesn't look movie-ish quality.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. Now, I will say they put a grain filter over this whole show. If you really watch it, if you go back and look at it, the whole show has this particular grain filter over the whole thing. So they've formatted it in a particular way. But yeah, the detailing and stuff, I get what you're saying. Like it kind of, in some ways, it looks like they're cutting corners and it's sort of Star Trek-ish. Yeah. But I don't know. It to me, it works. It feels almost like George Lucas's version of like the way he did episode 1, where it was still lo-fi, but it still, everything was much more regal. I don't know. I really dig the look of it so far, but I'll tell you this much: it's looking way better than Obi-Wan Kenobi. I hate to say that. It blew me away with how good they've handled a lot of the stuff, just all the live sets versus whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's all on stage on the the screens, but it just feels like a lot of it is live too. I will say this: I enjoy everybody so far. I really like Jackie, is it Jackie Non? What was her name?
I remember Jackie is
Lon. I'm sorry. For some reason I was thinking Non. Jackie Lon. I love Daphne's character.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
her overall look is kind of like whatever. It's not my favorite alien look, but the makeup looks great.
Is that a new species?
No.
I was going to say it looks like one of those species.
You go back to the re-release of Return of the Jedi. It's one of the dancers.
Oh, okay.
In Jabba's palace, one of those three. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the alien name.
I was thinking that species was in that Jabba's
dancing, the new thing, for
palace
the special edition.
Scene, yeah. I didn't know what I was going to think about your Fandar. At first, and like I said, here's another dramatic liberty they took where, I like that he's a fresh Jedi Knight. So he is just wanting to be he is a by the books kind of guy. Stuffy. He's a proper guy, huh?
He's stuffy.
Yeah, he's stuffy. And it's like he wants to impress. This is his chance. He wants to, he doesn't want to blow it. And then you have that scene where he's like showing his shirt off, and it just gave me flashes of Star Trek Into Darkness, which I preach, like I love Star Trek Into Darkness. I'm a defender, but there's a scene in that where you see one of the female lead, or one of the female characters just kind of showing it off for no reason, and you're just like, come on.
I actually got the vibes of like a joke that you would see in like any Japanese anime series where a guy gets walked in on when he's only, because he kind of even had that kind of nervous awkwardness to him when he was like,
yeah,
I for sure, yeah,
like he was flustered.
But that was one thing I think when I kind of see it. The thing is it surprised me that they even showed him without his shirt. But I guess it was like, hey, we're going in somewhat adult. Let's give some eye candy. But I'm like at the same time, I think after that, with that sequence alone, and then after just following his character, the dude started to like. I started to soften up on him. I really like him. He's starting to become one of my favorite characters. And then once he's getting involved in the investigation, I just like how he's kind of been the backup. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like if there's more to him or something. But at the same time, I like that I don't know. He's kind of shown up at the right times and stuff like that. And you see, even that to me sometimes felt a little too, appropriate. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I followed her. I watched her, even though I know he watched.
I had eyes on her the whole time. Yeah, and he's calling from way up. But anyway, it's other than that, his character I really enjoyed. I was sad that Indara we had to lose her. I mean, like I said, Master Saul. He is. I mean, I think he's probably the best part of the show in terms of just like the characters you follow. Yeah. He's great. He's following right into that Jedi, character really well. But at the same time, he does do some things that are pretty emotional, like the emotional attachment kind of rules that he breaks a lot are just like, okay, dude. So I guess it makes sense that he must have been involved in some shady stuff in the past that he has to cover up. Because I don't know, sometimes I'm like, dude, why are you so, but then he gives me shades of Qui-Gon, because then he tells, like when he tells what's his, oh my God, I'm losing their names and I want to learn them, but Fandar, when he tells him, to basically live in the moment, like stop, anyway, but it's, other than that, I'm digging the show. I'm really, I don't know. I'm digging the vibe of it. I'm happy with it so far. And I was going to say that was the other big thing I was going to bring up was the action. The sequences, the martial arts sequences, very well choreographed. They look great to me. They're really well filmed. Boom, love it. I don't know how do you feel about them, Ray? I mean, I thought they've been some of the best sequences filmed so far.
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't gotten in the nitty gritty yet. We haven't seen big epic lightsaber fights, but the just the hand-to-hand combat has been amazing.
Some of it gave me some Hong Kong cinema feel, especially the fight with Indara in the bar, because one move I really enjoyed that really made me think like, oh wow, this is like I'm watching like one of those Hong Kong like 80s 70s movies.
Wuxia movie.
Yeah, was the she was about to get shot at, and she knocked the table over to block the shot, and then she kicked the table at the person. That was giving me like something you would have seen Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee or Jet Li do, like as a move in a fight scene, something similar to that. But and the choreography, from what I remember, it was pretty fluid, pretty solid.
I just love the edits. They really showed like the angles and stuff were just really well shot to show off the fights. Like they really did their. I need to research it and see who was filming a lot of that, because they were doing their homework, or they got some really good like Hong Kong cinema level filmers that really have experience with that stuff.
And and one thing I figure people might complain about, but when I viewed it through the lens of starting to think like, this kind of reminded me of like a mix of like Hong Kong style movies and stories of like, teachers and students, where, or it makes me think of like a ninja movie where you have the characters that, you're the student and the master storyline.
Yeah,
I'm getting lost in my thought here about this, but it reminded me of those. Like, it's this old story about I
get what you're saying, but it's like the master and apprentice, where I've trained them and I've treated them a certain way, and only I can relate to them, or can probably take them down, or know how to.
And it seemed like he had like a fatherly. It did seem like Saul has like a fatherly attachment to OSHA.
Oh God, yes, he was.
Which, did anybody catch the irony of a character being named OSHA that also was a mechanic?
Right. I was like, what? It was. Yeah, I was sitting there with. I'm like, you're a mechanic, and your name's OSHA.
But it's like every time she steps onto a ship, something's going on here. I'm gonna find it.
Here comes OSHA.
That is not up to regulation, sir.
Yep.
Oh no!
It just has a big oily wrench. Just.
One of the other things I'm still not comfortable with are the gloves on the Jedi. Like, it's part of their costume. I don't like it.
I like it because it adds to the elegance of like I think they're going for with that aesthetic, and that was what I was trying to get to earlier, was people joking about the way May approaches each of her targets so far. She does this kind of over dramatic, like anime type announcement of her intentions, like, come at me with all your strength. And I actually enjoyed that. I know, because
me too.
Thinking like, she's an assassin, she should know better. It's like, no, she doesn't know better, because she's still figuring this out. Like, if you've noticed, it seems like there's a lesson she's trying to learn with each kill. The first one was purely physical.
Yeah.
The second one, she tried to do it, she tried to fulfill the wish of doing it without a weapon. And she couldn't do it with the second one, but it was a more internal thing. She got the target to kill himself out of his guilt. She used his own power against him.
So well, that was the thing, though. That death in particular, that assassination, I'm struggling with that one, because I got to know what in the world they did. I got to know what in the world they did for him to snap out of that trance and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take this poison. I'm like, a Jedi?
That's what I was thinking about with the whole idea of like the Asian cinema influence, is that honor is a big thing, and for some, and it kind of goes back to the idea of like, something so dishonorable that you just, either become a monk and just, hide from it your entire life in meditation, or he has to off himself. He can't. It looks like he couldn't function doing anything else.
I wonder if they somehow caused the return of the Sith or something like that, and they didn't mean to, and that's one of the reasons why he's like, you know what? There's no way. He's like, well, there's no way I can atone for my sins. I'm just killing myself. That's what I'm wondering. That's why I'm like, wow, what would drive a Jedi Master to do that? And that's why I'm like, it's. I was struggling with it at first, but that made me think, I've got to see the end of this. I've got to see what in the world they're covering up.
There was something interesting that there's I don't know if y'all saw the interview, but that they did with Leslie. What's Headland? Yeah. about her influences, and she did mention one Star Wars character that she liked that may have influenced the story, I think, which was Darth Treya from Knights of the Old Republic 2. Did you ever play that, actually?
No.
Sorry about that. There's a character in there called Kreia, and she eventually is. You remember her, right, Austin?
Oh yeah.
But she's a companion throughout the story, and at the end, she's revealed, or the big climax, she's revealed that she was also a Jedi, and she witnessed you on this event, this cataclysmic event that happened in the past. That was called that was during the big war. It was Malachor 5, the destruction of that. And anyways, the aftermath of that was your main character in the Sith Lords. Your character was banished from the Jedi, but also they cut them off from the Force because they were leaving like a wound in the Force or something like that, from what I remember. But anyways, it made Kreia so mad that they had taken something so pure, because she saw your character as this pure, being almost. And she thought what they did was, when they cut him off from the Force, it was like blasphemy to her. So in the big climax, she comes back and she scolds all the Jedi for what they had done, because they had, did this, and then she kills them all. So it made me wonder, like, it feels like it's going to be one of those types of things where this Sith witnessed something that could be viewed as an injustice, and they're using that as fuel for revenge.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like it's more of a personal thing than it is some kind of a, grand Sith plan at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So wrapping up our discussion on this, so we can hit those Batman figures. I guess overall you're excited to continue this. It sounds like, which I'm excited to continue it. I've stepped into a mystery. I've got to finish it now. I've got to figure it out. I'm enjoying it. I think that, like Austin said, I like the look, the special effects much better in this than we got in Obi-Wan by far. Even the lightsabers. The one time when I can't remember her name, Carrie Ann Moss's character,
Indara, Master Indara.
Yeah, Indara. When she lit up her lightsaber, you could see, like, it wasn't just like a legacy saber that you get it from Hasbro. There's little waves, coming off of the saber to give it a little something extra than just that toy look, light up FX saber look to it. So kudos to that. It didn't take me out. The only thing, like I said, my only issues are a few cosmetic things, like the gloves. I don't really care for that. And then the whole shirt off on the freaking dude. That was just.
I did like that you're seeing how they clean. I guess they steam everything. They're just
yeah.
That's how the Jedi do that. We just steam all our clothes. But no,
they have two outfits. One to walk around the council. I mean the Jedi building with, and they're white. And then when they go on missions, they put on the brown.
Right.
Did you notice?
Well, I was going to say they also seem, but they also seem, because you saw when well, and here, that was another questionable thing, because you saw Yord Fondar, the first time you see him, he's got a Padawan with him, but she doesn't go on mission with him, which is kind of odd. You would think that even though he's being sent on a mission, he would have to take his Padawan with him. But
Anakin didn't always take Ahsoka with him everywhere he went.
That's what I was saying. It just was kind of odd that they didn't. They didn't catch an explanation or whatever. It was just he had a Padawan, and I was interested too, because I really liked her makeup effects and everything too. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But where was my point on that? So, and I've lost it. Anyway, so overall, I think it's a great show.
Great show. Great show.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested. I'm excited.
All right. So let's talk a little bit before, I know we're hitting that hour mark, but let's talk a little bit about toys. So McFarlane Toys revealed, they're actually going up for pre-order tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern. I will put the links. Well, you're not on Facebook. but in the DC multiverse or McFarlane DC multiverse group, I will put the links up to order it for all of them. Here it is. The 4 beautiful figures.
Yes.
Yeah, I love these figures.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I have one critique on one of them, I'm overall I think I only have one critique, and it's on the Riddler.
On the Riddler?
Yeah, since we're starting with the Riddler, I love the figure. I like that they included a bat bomb. One of those little green bat bombs with him.
Yep.
But I just I wish they would have included a derby hat with him, the Riddler derby hat.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wish they would have included that. But that was really my only gripe. It was that they don't do that. But yeah, the Batman figure.
Yeah,
give it to me. Give it
that
to
and
me.
the Robin. I want both of those.
Oh my
and
God.
it looks like it's a cloth cape too. So that's
yeah. This is cloth good capes, and we'll announce in a minute. There's a particular reason why I think for sure. But yeah, I even like the gadgets that come with him. You get some really cool
he gets his big finale grapple
like
that he uses.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that. I like that they finally include the big one there.
And that little special sonar batarang that's like just the big little whoosh, the open up it does when he was doing his little riddle to the Riddler.
Yeah, because it just it slides up.
Yeah. I see without seeing.
Open. Yeah, no, it's so great.
To me, darkness is as clear as daylight.
I can't believe you remember that.
Oh, whatever. So good.
And it looks like the Build-A-Figure is the bat that haunts his dreams. Woo!
Or we'll just call the Schumacher verse man bat. This is the number one figure I want, and now I'm seeing that they have delivered. This looks so great, and the fact that it's cloth good cape with the black on the outside, yellow on the inside, I'm like, thank you. This was what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yes. This is by far. I mean, this right here. I mean, I love the Batman and Robin. This one blows that one out of the water. Just look at that cape. Oh my God, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does. Man, that does look good.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to pre-order those. Just those two though. I mean, I tend to collect more of the hero figures than the villains.
Yeah, I was going to say at first I was thinking I would only get those two, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and get all 4 of them. But I definitely I was mainly wanting that Batman and Robin, and oh my God, that Robin looks so good. But yeah, see, I love the Riddler. I mean, he looks great and all. I wish they would have just thrown in or done either that or another head with the derby hat.
Dude, this is McFarlane Toys, right? So that you have to have a gold label or a platinum version or something.
Oh yeah. If they do a gold label version of him, I'll be fine, because what they need to do with the gold label is give him the overall jacket, the green jacket that went over with the derby hat. Then I'd be like, all right, and then I'll have both variations. But no, if they do a gold label, they'll probably do the big, like the one from the end of the movie.
That's what I was going to say.
Suit.
Yep. Because it would be easy. You just change the green to white and give him a different head.
It's gold. Yep.
That would be easier.
Yeah. No. But I mean, it's I don't know. I wonder what they could have done other than the bat figure. Oh, I was going to say, I would say he's probably the weakest one of all 4. I would, he's the one I'm the least excited about getting, but he still looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's because it's a suit, a business suit,
I think his face sculpt is all right. It just,
and
it's a weird thing they're doing. They have that the coin sticks to his thumb, I guess, so he's given the
old Kenner figure did the same thing.
Did
the old Kenner figure, yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
Did the same thing, but hey, it looks like there's an extra hand in there, so you can swap it out.
Oh yeah. I wish they would have also given you the coin too, like the old toy did, where you got the double-sided coin. Yeah,
and I don't have pictures, but there is a Batmobile coming out for this.
That's my point. Yeah, that was going to be my point about earlier. The cloth good capes, I think, is so that they'll be able to get in the Batmobile.
Now,
And,
I don't know if that goes
I got to
up.
get that Batmobile.
Yeah, I don't know if that goes up for pre-order tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. But I've also heard there's a gold label version of the Batmobile that's got it's going to be a separate one that's got the light up effects on it.
Oh, so there'll be one that doesn't light up and then one that does?
Yeah. No, I don't. It probably won't light up. It'll probably be painted with that neon stuff on it, so it looks like it's lit up, And I'm not sure if it actually comes with anybody,
The one that lights up,
Yeah,
doesn't come with anybody.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I hope it goes for a pre-order because I would order it too, just to have an Alfred Goff, or what was his name?
Michael Goff.
Michael Goff. That's right.
Yeah.
But Alfred, he changed his name to Alfred legally, if y'all remember. But Michael Goff, I would love to have a figure of him, dude. That would actually be pretty cool to have in the collection.
You could get a figure of Morgan Freeman.
I actually saw his figure. I was looking at a review and saw the sculpt. He actually looks good. I was impressed with that Lucius Fox.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. All right, so that's gonna do it for this week. We are past the hour mark. We are at hour and 6 minutes, and I don't want to hold anybody up. Yeah, I know. So recommendations going forward for this week. I know we can't do next week. I got some work I got to do Thursday night, next Thursday. So we won't be on next week unless you guys want to do something on your own.
The third episode, or we could just wait and review 3 and 4.
Yeah. But anyway, any recommendations before we head out for the week?
I would recommend watch the Acolyte. See what you think.
Yeah. I was going to say, watch the Acolyte, watch Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I did watch Godzilla -1, so that
I have
was
not yet.
Good. You haven't?
Not yet. I've got it listed in Netflix, ready to go. I just need to sit down and watch it.
Yeah. I hadn't really been watching anything that would interest anybody. I don't know what I can recommend. What can I recommend? I recommend
watch Batman. I've been watching Batman the Animated Series, and I'm almost done. I'm like in technically this guy's 4th or 5th season. It's right before the animation changeover. I'm watching the Bane episode right now, but dude, the flow, it flows so much better just with this order that I've been watching all the episodes in. I mean, it's I don't know, it's great.
Well, if you like anime, and this is not anime that I'm about to recommend, but if you like anime, go check out My Adventures with Superman on HBO Max. It's pretty good. It's got an anime feel to it, but it's really good. It's
like watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like for people that want to get into anime, it's like if you like Superman, this is your intro to anime. But it's still very light. It's very good. I second it. And I'm not an anime guy. So
all right, folks, that is it for this week. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Peace.
Later days.